And hello, welcome back to Song of the Deep. Hello, everyone, the frozen wastes. I hope you're shivering and shaking. Well, I hope you're not shivering and shaking, and if you do, please put a jumper on. I'm Lydia, I'm Half-Hour's Hermit. I am your GM today, and of course the stars of the hour are right here next to me. And we're just going to introduce ourselves real quick. If you want to say who you're playing, class, and just generally who you are and what you're doing here and why you're awesome. Let's start with Colin and go counterclockwise today.
Hello, good evening. I am Colin at Colonomicon on Twitter and all the other places. And tonight, like every other night, I am playing Bastion, the Shadow Fae bard boy who finally unpacked his dulcimer. I just moved and this has been in storage for a bit, but finally back to my favorite instrument. And yes, I am here to, well, frankly, we don't know why we're here, but it's very cold, and therefore I had to go into Lorenzo's trunk and borrow this scarf, and I hope he doesn't mind.
Oh, that's a great segue. No, I don't mind. It's my least favorite one. Hi,
You
I'm
look awful in
Noir.
green anyway.
I could pull off green. I just choose not to. I am Noir. He can find me everywhere as the Noir Enigma, and I am playing Lorenzo, a paladin of the storm. Which sounds kind of metal when I say it like that, but he's a paladin that took an oath of the storm, so that is him. I don't have as good a segue, so I find myself in quite the pickle.
That's me! Hi everybody, it's me, Draku. I'm playing as Pickled Fish, aka Pickle, and I am an entropy wizard, and I'm a rat folk, and I'm precious sometimes. And I'm a little cold, but I already wore a shawl most of my life anyway, so I'm just kind of bundled up in it and using it as an excuse to body warmth with the other characters. So they have a little pickle tied to their leg, and that's the reality of the situation. So
Do a punny segue. Do a punny segue.
oh man, and by the light of the moon, is that Phoebe I see?
It is. Hi, Pickle. Hello. I'm Savvy. We're at Savvy Seaworth. Tonight I am playing Phoebe, the cleric of the moon and devoted prophet of the goddess Sarastra. And I'm also very cold. But I'm probably not going to say anything about it, because that's just kind of how I am. And I'm going last, so I don't have to do a segue.
I mean, you could have, but that's fine. But that was well done, everyone. And I hope Pungeons and Dragons in chat is proud of us. We tried our best here. Now, we've had quite the journey for these four beautiful people, and this journey was made possible with our lovely sponsor. I'm gonna send the link in chat. That would be our friends from Snowhaven, from the setting made by Justin Weaver. But we have plenty of other sponsors who you want to check out this season. All our games are showcased by companies, individual companies, indie companies, and bigger ones you may have heard of, from Modifius on Tuesday, and of course Zweihender's New Flames of Freedom on Tuesday as well, to Accent Punks on Thursday, Ihan on Wednesday, and Defiant on Friday. If you want to check out these links and our schedule, please do, because they're all absolutely fantastic. I would also like to say hi to our friends on YouTube, and if you have your own puns, then do share them, just to give me an extra little bit of headache today, because we do put our YouTube videos up every week as well. Always check the comments, and it always makes us laugh. And if you are here in chat, please make sure you clip any scenes that you find particularly interesting or funny, because we still do our clip of the week over on Discord too. This is episode 2 of Song of the Deep, we had a little bit of a rude awakening, if you will, last week, when our friends were thrown into the frozen wastes by their friend Fish. Fish, of course, is not an actual fish, at least not as far as anyone knows. It's a being, a creature of the void, a voidling, a void dragon that has latched on to these 4 fantastic minds, thinking, yes, this is a journey I want to take. And that journey has led them into the frozen wastes. They landed head over heel in the middle of a snowdrift, and in the middle of a fight, to be precise, a fight with 4 kakis. Basically, think saber-toothed tiger, but bigger and meaner. And they were fighting valiantly when a group of explorers came past, realizing something was going on, and chasing the last few kakis away, ones that they hadn't killed, ones that they did kill. Well, they are currently being skinned and made the most of, because that's how you do in the wilderness, while they're all sitting by a quickly made campfire. There are several people in this explorer group. We had a little bit of a chat last time as well. We had the leader of the group, a woman calling herself Agna, who seems to be half elven and a little bit on the, oh, let's see what these people are up to. This is a funny story, meeting these completely underdressed folks in the middle of nothing. I want to see what's going on. We had Estrelle, who is a fairly tight-lipped elf, and we had Nell, who was human, and they seem to know a lot more about the Snow Mother, the Snow Matron, that Phoebe had a strange memory of a song about. There are others, but I think what everyone really wants to know right now is who that deep voice belongs to. As we ended last week on the entrance of a large person creature, at first sight you are not entirely sure, for they are large and looming. They have horns, big and twisted like ram horns. They have a shaggy fur that is definitely their fur and not a fur coat. A large, broad nose, white and grey all over, with very, very intelligent, piercing blue eyes. They are tall, absolutely incredibly tall, as they stride into the group of people. A strange stick of sorts slung around their shoulder, a bag filled with various items. It's big, it's clunky, it's a bit unwielding, but they look like a traveler, they look like perhaps a ranger. And this strange being, well, who do we have here? Is inquiring about you. What is your reaction to whoever just appeared?
I think me and Pickle are doing the same thing. Just amazed. It's so cool.
Lorenzo's just gonna sit back and look at the guy. Not really gonna give him anything easily.
Phoebe gives
stoic
nothing
self.
away.
Phoebe gives nothing away as well.
It's a real tale of
the
two reactions here, because we're geeking out and they're stoic as hell.
Estrelle is nodding to the newly arrived person, and of course Agna is standing up immediately from the fire. She's been stroking, heads over and gives this new arrival a big hug. Well, I guess they give her a big hug because they are easily almost twice as tall as she is. And hey, well, you've picked up some stragglers. Agna, how are you doing? Oh, Sora, what can I say? Things we find these days out in the wilderness just dropped from the skies is what they say. Oh, excuse me, pardon me. Sora, this is... And there's this moment of, oh fuck, do I even remember their names now? Phoebe, the little one here in the corner is Pickle, Lorenzo, and Bastian. There we go. Yes, that's our travelers from a distant world. And this is Sarah. Sarah is a Yeti. You know about the Yeti?
What?
Yeti? No? I think that's a no. And she looks at Sarah, and Sarah looks at her. Well, I'm almost offended, he says, and walks a little bit closer. Looks you up and down. Again, that little moment of looking at Pickle a little bit longer, because it is unusual to have someone like her here. And then sits down, and the earth shakes, or the snow shakes a little bit next to you, starts forming their hands by the fire. Yetu people, we are here living in the frozen wastes. Agna, they're all staring at me.
Is he talking to me, Pickle, or is he talking to you?
I don't know.
We're staring at you because you're talking, but you're very far up, so it's hard to make eye contact.
That's fair, I get that a lot. I'll speak a little bit louder. Don't ask me what the weather is like up here. It's a bit rude.
I imagine it's cold, as it is also cold down here.
Agna, do we have any food? It's been a while. It's been a long journey. I kind of went through my rations, but I've got some of the blue ice you wanted. And they start bustling about and talking about trade, talking about just benign things, taking you just for granted, if you will. Don't seem to be too alarmed.
Pickle, go talk to him.
Okay.
Introduce me.
Yes. Hello. I'm Pickle.
She's like trying to project her voice as best she can.
And your fur is nice. I too have fur. It's nice to meet you. This is Bastion.
Nice to meet you too. Hi, Pickle. Hi, Bastion. He gets a little bowl of what looks like broth of sort that's been warming over the fire that's been offered to you as well earlier on. Well, tell me your story then. You hear you fell from the sky? That doesn't happen every day. And starts slurping down the broth.
Yes, we did, but that's not important. Tell me about you. I've never met someone quite so, well, tall, first of all, but, let me start over. I'm Bastion. I am
You said that?
a shadow fae. I don't know if you've met my kind before. We have horns, as you can see. And this is Pickle. She's a rat folk. I don't believe you've met her kind either. And it is... You are... I'm honored to meet you. Yeah, you really... Wow. Just, Is this weird? Am I being weird? I'm sorry. This is all very new.
Well, if it's not exposure that is freezing your brain, then I think we'll get over it.
It might well be. I'm extremely cold.
Anna, do we have a couple more blankets for these people? And Estrelle is already bringing more blankets and getting everyone together, saying, I have another hour before I can get us some actual shelter. Alright, that would be nice. I can share you... Sorry, nothing personal, but we'll talk later about, Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. First, I really want to hear more about you guys. I think the voices would have told me if there was anything to worry about, but normally they also tell me when to expect unexpected guests. They were silent about you. Well, but strange.
The voices.
Oh, gods. You call them gods.
Oh. Well, that was unexpected. You talk with gods regularly?
Well, they talk to me. You have gods where you guys are coming from, right?
Yes, and in fact, my friend here speaks with one herself. Phoebe, meet. I'm sorry, your name again was.
Oh, Saura.
Sarah. Yes. Well, Phoebe, this Yetu speaks with gods. That's fascinating.
Cool. Which ones? Or like all of them?
Well,
That seems like it would be really stressful.
I like her. My people know 3, mostly. We have 3 voices that guide us. There's a couple other beings that some of you would consider gods, I guess, but the 3 voices, they have our back, and we have theirs.
Cool.
Which one's yours? Have I heard about them?
I don't know. Sarastra? Lady of Night and Magic. There's a lot of other ones.
Oh. Agna, are we bringing these to the settlement? It's up to you. I thought they might want to see it, but... Well, that... Ashir would want to see them, but... my home...
As a town?
Yeah, you can call it that. Sure.
Big arrangement of buildings, lots of people live there?
I think he knows what a town
you're
is.
talking about Snowhaven. No, I don't go there. My brother's in Snowhaven. I'm not one for big towns like that. The settlement is caverns, little caves, huts, geysers. Geysers? How do you pronounce it again?
Geyser.
Geyser. Thanks. Geysers.
Oh, and that's yours.
Streams.
You own? You have a town? It's yours?
It's where we live. We don't claim ownership of caves, but we will defend them if you try and take them from us.
Heavens no, of course it wasn't. No. That sounds lovely. And sheltered and warm, I assume?
Oh yeah.
I would love to see it.
That's what we figured, Agnes says from the back. Pickle, you are partly quite enamored with this new addition to the camp. And as you often do, when you see something exciting, when you meet someone exciting, you want to commit it to memory and, more importantly, to your sketchbook. And you start rummaging through your bags for it, but you notice something is missing. You find the sketchbook, all right. What you don't find is your spellbook.
Um, has anyone seen my spell book? I was using it during the fight, I think.
No?
Hmm.
Bastion like looks through his own like bag and like pockets and was that the last time you remember seeing it?
Yes, I used it against those, really big cats, and, I don't know where it is. Okay.
Perhaps,
I'll keep looking.
She keeps just
perhaps
like
you left it on.
meticulously taking everything out of her bag and like stacking it up.
Perhaps it's still with Rumble. I can summon him.
Oh, yes, maybe I left it in one of his saddlebags. Yeah. Do you mind calling him now? I'd really like to find it.
It's not a problem. Snap my finger and summon for.
Whoa! That's that's cool. That's really cool.
Oh yeah, he does
I like that trick.
Yeah.
Hey, who are you, buddy? And Sarah stands up again as Rumble appears next to you and starts. It looks so weird because Rumble, even though he appears as a Yakut Taurus, like he appears smaller now, but next to this Yeti, he's tiny. It's like petting a puppy as he starts sort of ruffling through Rumble's mane. Rumble seems a little bit confused and a little bit alarmed at first, but looks to you for guidance.
It's fine, Rumble. He's big. He's fine. He smells really nice.
Rumble starts sniffing him.
Yes. No. Rumble, go to Phoebe.
And snorts, and then trots
No,
over, sinks
Pickle.
into the snow.
Sorry, I can't. He just goes back to being quiet again.
Trots over to Phoebe, gives her a quick lick, and then trots on to Pickle. He's just getting his
And
cuddles from
Pickle-
all of them.
Exactly. Priorities. And Pickle,
Yeah.
kind of clambers up as best she can and is like just digging through the little saddlebags that he has on him.
It's not here.
Okay.
Agnes?
Agna. But, yeah.
Agna?
Sorry.
Agna?
Fine.
Is it possible to maybe go check where we were fighting the snow cats? I lost something kind of important.
Sure, that should not be a problem. Are you okay going alone, or do you need one of us to take care of you? Because it's not far off.
If I might need a little bit of help. The snow is taller than I am.
I can go if you want.
Oh, is that okay, Phoebe?
You both can
Yeah.
take Pickle. I mean, both can take. You both can take Rumble. You really smell nothing. Just take my horse.
Okay, thank you, Lorenzo.
Thanks, Enzo.
One second. Estrelle says as she just walks past you and pats you on the shoulder. and you feel a jolt of energy. And you're not quite sure what just happened. You just feel that the night got a little bit brighter. And the snow a little bit more textured. You see a little bit better. You have advantage on investigation checks. She gave you a little bit of a magic pick-me-up. Shout if you need help, she says. Goes back to sorting through the bag Sarah put next to her.
Thanks.
Alright, so Phoebe and Pickle head over. Bastian and Lorenzo, is there anything in particular you would want to be doing or asking any of the camp folks?
Right now, I actually just want to talk to Lorenzo. But
Yeah,
what do you want to do?
Or that?
Oh, you go first, man.
Lorenzo is just going to the darkest corner, as far away from people, especially Sarah, as possible.
And as Enzo's kind of like off by himself, like trying to keep away, you see like Bastion coming through the snow. Like, imagine you're off somewhere where it's like untrodden snow. So you're seeing Bastion do that thing when you're like walking really high snow, where he's like stepping like really high, trying to get through this, like riding up his boots. Oh, son of a bitch! This
This will help with your
snow.
footwork.
I suppose so. Now's not the time. There's snow in my boot, and I do not like it. All right. Hi.
Hello.
Are you okay?
Fine, just distracted. There's a lot going on.
Well, yes, certainly. This is all very new and strange, but you seem distracted's not quite the word for it. Are you feeling well?
Well, I don't get sick like the flu, if that's what you're asking.
Normally that would be a concern considering the temperature, but no, I did know that about you, so that's not exactly what I'm asking. Is something wearing at your mind? You seem unfocused and...
You're clever,
I mean, no
so
offense, but...
you've already noticed Sarah smells particularly enticing.
So... a new, variety, I suppose?
I have no intentions on acting on it. It's
No,
just
no!
noticeable.
No, I didn't. I'm not... It's always been so hard for me to know how to talk to you about this. And I want you to know that I'm trying very hard to do this right.
You're doing very well.
I'm not accusing you of anything like that, or being suspicious. I just want to know, what can I do to help you?
Don't leave me alone with him. That'd be a good idea.
Good. And... okay. And if you do feel the pull to do something you don't wish to do, what then should I do?
Should we come up with a code word?
Sure.
I'm sorry, I'm
That's...
trying to make this as fun as possible.
You do often tend to find the light in the darkness, yes. Okay, let's come up with a code word then. How about... What's it? How about hammer?
Hammer. That could work. I don't see me saying hammer in any other circumstance.
No, that would be absurd. No one has a hammer here. That would not make any sense. But if you're having trouble, you can just say, Bastion, it's hammer time, and then we can work it out.
Bastion, it's hammer time. Yes, that could work.
Very good. All right. Hammer time it is, then.
Hammer time it is. We should probably make sure no one else here has a hammer. It might confuse them. I mean,
sure.
But perhaps if you say Lorenzo, it's hammer time, even if they have a hammer, then they won't think it's hammer time for them. It'll be hammer time for me.
Right, only you.
You guys need a hammer? And you see Nell, the person who had kept a little bit away after embarrassing themselves, telling a little bit too much about them. You need a hammer? Holding a hammer to sort of put tent pegs in, and just a regular instrument, nothing special about it.
No, I don't need a hammer. It is not
no,
hammer time.
It's not presently hammer time. No, we were discussing hammers, just our favorite hammers, comparing different types of hammers.
You guys are fucking weird. And they walk off.
So if you're having trouble, I will say, just Lorenzo, stop. It's hammer time.
It makes sense.
Okay, good.
We should let the others
Code
know
words are fun.
about this. I enjoyed them immensely.
This was a good idea. See, this is fun. We can make this. This is okay. We can make this work. We'll have to tell the others about it.
Yeah.
Yes, we will need to make sure that Phoebe and Pickle are both aware of the meaning of hammer time.
Yes, we will impress upon them the grave importance of hammer time.
And this is where we cut back. This is my punishment, and I deserve it. We cut back to Phoebe and Pickle. Who are frantically searching in the snow. The signs of the fight still very visible. Blood, cold, dark red, almost black, under the two moons' light. The carcasses of the two beasts that were slain before the others ran off. Still sort of half steaming with warmth, but wasn't harvested anyway. Roll me that investigation check, Pickle.
So that is a 14.
Did you roll it with the advantage Estrelle gave you?
Ooh,
which,
not
by the
yet.
way, thank you very much, guys. That was the boon from chat.
Well, that was mostly thank you for the boon, but I rolled a 10 again, so it's still a 14.
So you are searching. You are finding pieces of your own clothing that you didn't realize had been torn off during the fight. You find spots that remind you of said fight when it almost got a little bit too close for comfort, Phoebe. And you find something else. There is an area in between the rocks, some of which you have been using for shelter to get your fire going, but there is an area underneath, almost like a little, not big enough for a cave or a cavern, but a little shelter where some of the cats had been resting in the snow. That's where you find what can only be described as the leftovers of someone less lucky and capable than you guys. What you do find within these leftovers and remains is a scroll. A spell scroll. Magically sealed. And at this point, you would know it would be unwise to open it before you didn't have a closer look at it, Pickle. But you need your spell book to have a closer look at it in the first place. You know exactly, you have a spell to investigate, to know what that is. But you cannot find that spell book. Not even pieces left in the snow. It's just not there.
So Pickle, we find that scroll, and she immediately, just so excited, as she is whenever the curiosity gets the best of her, but just hammering it back in, that she just does not. Sorry, that sorry. I know I was trying to break everyone but me, but I still broke. That
Please,
she
you're
doesn't
not
have,
sorry, and I know it.
because I'm not. She doesn't have. She can't find it. She can't find that spell book. And Phoebe, you can see her just, that excitement just immediately drains out of her face as she turns and is just like, at this point, just desperately flinging snow, just trying so hard to find her spell book, and just kind of muttering under her breath like,
No, I need it. I need it. If I, it just.
And just muttering nonsense as she's digging.
Phoebe will go and kind of like kneel down in the snow next to her, just kind of put a hand like gently on her shoulder. Pickle, I don't think it's here.
And when you put that hand on the shoulder, she just slumps and immediately just starts crying. And just head in her hands, her paws, and just,
But I can't do magic if I don't have my spell book. And if I can't do magic, then I can't help.
Two things. Wait. Three things. One, you don't need magic to help people. Have you seen yourself? Two, have you ever tried doing magic without your book? Three, do you want a hug?
Yes.
Come here.
she just immediately goes for that hug.
The second question was serious. Have you ever tried?
No. I reference it for everything. I've never tried it without a spell book before. What if I get it wrong and something bad happens?
Magic is funny, you know? It's weird. And even if you write it down in a book, even if you read it right, even if you draw the perfect circle, it doesn't always work, you know? A lot of times it does. But it's way bigger than us. We're just kind of pulling pieces of it the best we can. We all do that in different ways, but the magic's not in your book, Pickle. It's in you.
She just buries her
helps to have
face
the book,
further
though.
in the hug. Just
Thank you,
Plus, I
Phoebe.
can't imagine that you like remember most of that stuff. You're so smart.
I mean, sometimes I can remember some of them, but I always want to double check. Especially after some of the spells that I've done have kind of been a little weird, so I don't really trust them. So but you do magic without a spell book, right?
Mhm. Yeah, all the time.
Well,
And sometimes it's weird. That's okay.
yeah, it's a little weird when you grow fangs. That's a weird one. But it seems pretty effective too. Like you know what you're doing. So
We'll practice.
okay. Yeah.
she kind of like wipes her eyes.
Maybe don't I'll tell the others, but maybe not right when we get back. I wanna tell them myself.
Your stuff is yours to tell, Pickle. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
You head back with a spell scroll stashed away in your bag, a little bit quiet, trying to put on a brave face, as you always do. Phoebe kind of holding you by the shoulder until you get closer and back to the camp. Sarah has eaten, is sitting around the fire with Estrella and Agna, who have settled down as well. They are going over the contents of the bag. You hear the words blue ice being used. You hear them talk of furs, prices for the furs. You hear them get into a story of one of their clients. You can gather as much. But are you joining them? Are you trying to stay among yourself? I'm assuming Lorenzo and Colin again, why do I keep doing this? Lorenzo and Bastian, have you come back and joined them, or are you still, I don't know, have
I've
you
seen
found balloon pants somewhere and
parachute pants.
that's the
I
thing, yeah.
believe armed now with hammer time. And having warned one of his friends, Lorenzo would try and just come back. Like he probably is accidentally staring at Sarah, but other than that, nothing.
I think Bastion, like, him and Lorenzo come back and they're like sitting near each other, just try not to get anyone's way, making polite, pleasant conversation. Oh yeah. I'm a Shadow Fae, whatever. Polite conversation. And whenever like he catches Lorenzo like staring at Sarah, he just kind of does one of those like slaps him on, like gives him a little like smack on the shoulder, or, like on the leg or something. You're doing it again.
Sorry.
Does anyone have anything warm to drink, like tea? Or...
Yes, actually. Give me just a second, Estrelle says, and she looks a little bit odd. She looks off into the distance and then shakes and like, yeah, there we go. And she starts to walk towards the fire and move her hand in a very deliberate way. And Agna joins her. They start humming. They start singing in a language you don't understand. You see Sarah smiling and kind of, he does the elbow thing to Pickle, who sat down next to him, and Pickle almost falls off the bench because, well, Sarah, but, oh, look at this. This is one of my favorite parts when they do that. And they start moving in beautiful symmetry. They start casting a spell. The fire grows warmer. And the warmth starts to fill more than just the little space in front of you. The place is being turned into something beautiful, something warm, and something comfortable. There is, for each and every one of you, the cold, the fear of the unknown and of whatever is lurking out there. All thoughts of worry, even the worry about your spellbook, Pickle, it suddenly is dulled. It doesn't seem quite as important anymore, as the area around the campfire is turned into pure comfort.
Well, this is much better than tea. I still would like some tea if it's on offer, though.
You notice that the fire has changed a little bit, that around it are foods and drinks that weren't there before. That there's a whole pile of those berries that Estrelle had cast earlier on. Nicely arranged. It's not a house, but it almost looking around, you can still see the wilderness outside. But there is a barrier. You feel safe. And yes, there is tea. Herbal. Smells so very healthy. You'd probably normally never drink it. But right now, as Estrelle just gestures for you to help yourself.
Yeah.
You have it in
Bastion's
your hand,
normally
and it's...
Bastion's normally a
Take a-
black tea with cream and like 12 sugars kind of guy. But, you know, herbal tea, I'll settle. And he stands up and goes to get stuff and then turns back around and says to Enzo, kind of leans in a little close here, but can I get you anything? Is there anything here that it looks like you could eat?
I'll take a cup of tea, please.
Okay. What did you think of the berries? I could get you some of the berries. No, not so much. No.
No, fruit does not agree
That bad?
with me. It's mushy.
Yeah.
The texture, it's very unpleasant.
Right. Okay. Tea. Tea's good.
Tea.
I'll get you some tea.
Tea's good. Thank you.
Of course. And he like starts to walk away, kind of pauses, looks back a second, like there's kind of something else he wants to say, but
And when you look back, you see Lorenzo's kind of pointing, and he's pointing towards Pickle, and he starts to head over to Pickle.
okay.
And he's just gonna plop down.
Okay, yep. Goes and gets 2 mugs of, or whatever the vessel is, of tea.
Pickle, he kind
Pickle,
of
do you-
sniffs you just a little bit.
Do you want anything, Pickle?
I'll try some of the tea. That sounds good.
Sure. And he, like, now awkwardly is trying to figure out how to carry 3 tea mugs. Oh,
You have...
Phoebe?
Yeah.
Do you...
I'll get it. Thank you.
Right. Walks back over, spilling tea everywhere.
You're starting to kind of huddle together at this point. You're not quite sure what the magic is that happened. Neither of you have ever seen a spell quite like this used at the college or used anywhere else. But to the rest of the troop, it seems perfectly normal. They all come gathering together around the campfire now. The bedrolls are being pulled out, all of them seemingly quite warm. You are given more and more blankets and furs than you could really at this point need. It doesn't seem to make complete sense. You were fairly sure they didn't actually travel with as much stuff. Is this the magic as well? But for them, it's so seemingly normal. Zora and Estrella and Agna have finished their business talk at this point as well, and they're all eating and drinking. The smell of something alcoholic is starting to fill the air next to the smell of warm crackling wood and the sound of crackling wood. You can still hear the wind outside, but it doesn't matter much. And they are gathering around the campfire and gesturing to you as well to come on. Sarah, in fact, goes, "Come on, friends. See, I know this is fairly new to you, but where I come from, and if you want to visit the settlement, you might as well get used to it. We always end the night together. The people, the families, friends, and travelers. Telling a couple of stories of where we're from. We figure that's a good way of welcoming guests to our place. Find out who they are. You can find out a lot by what story someone tells you when you ask them for one. And if you don't mind, I would ask you for a story. Who would like to start?" When is the silence getting awkward, Estrelle? Right about now. Right. Alright. I start with a story. Fine. I always start with a story. Alright. And you notice he's not exactly sad about it. He's preparing himself for the telling. He's just like, here we go, I know I'm good at this. And Agna and Estrella are sort of smiling at each other as they are sitting next to each other, and Agna actually puts her hand around her. Alright, now, you don't seem to know much about this world, about the voices. Do you know about Grula? Oh, it's my favorite one. Is it not too scary? I think they can take it, Estrelle. Alright. Grula. Well, Grula is what they call a creature of deepest cold evil, imprisoned somewhere deep in the heart of the blue ice. They fell from the heavens, just like you did, actually. He stops for a second. But when he fell, he brought a cold with him that froze the earth for millennia. Grula is not from this world. Not from your world, I would wager. And he's not an explorer. He's not a traveler like you. Some say he was exiled from wherever he came from. Some say he came to conquer. We don't know. But conquering is certainly what was on his mind when he finally woke. That cold he brought. No creature could survive it, and anyone who came too close to where he fell would be touched by it, their heart freezing. They would stay alive, if that's what you can call it. They would become as cold as Grula himself. There are still creatures out there that serve him, the Brine-Frost and the Shiver. The Gwillians, we keep them at bay. And back when they first mounted an attack on, well, the little bit of life that was left and protected by the voices and the gods and the spirits. Back then, those creatures are much more powerful than you can imagine. And, well, the gods themselves had to step from their thrones to protect what little life was coming back to serve them. We, of course, would not call them gods, but you would, and they still are. You might have even heard about them. The winter winds and the snow mother. The beings the Illuminate worship. Grula was not happy about that. He had almost enslaved whatever living being he could find. He wanted the world to be as cold as his own, and if he couldn't go back, well, then the deep ice would cover all. The first of the gods who spoke to him, who challenged him, was the Snow Mother. A being of the cold herself, she thought they could find common ground. She thought she would be able to speak reason to him. Reason that there should be balance. He was not one to be reasoned with. And as the great fight ensued and other gods joined, well, half the world was rent asunder. Some fought valiantly, but were turned by him. Some fought with dirty tricks and aligned themselves with him. Others simply died. And in the end, neither side prevailed. Grula discovered a way out. Not back to his home, but out to other worlds. Within the deep ice, he found roads leading away. The gods stopped him before he could flee, before he could mount his conquest. But they couldn't kill him. So they enclosed him in the deep ice. Just as he reached those roads, he was imprisoned. And he still is. His minions flock towards him. Every now and then, however, they decide to try and take what they think is rightfully their master's. Perhaps that is a reason why we do not know of your world, and why you do not know of ours. Perhaps your world lies just beyond those roads that we can never cross. Perhaps we saved you. Much bloodshed and loss had been endured by the spirits, the gods. Many of them did not walk away from that fight unblemished, uncorrupted. To this day, they say that if a creature of Garula wounds you and you feel the cold seeping into your heart, death is not the worst thing you'd be looking forward to.
It's very good. It's very, very good.
Very
Great
positive, Estrelle says. Couldn't you have done one with a happy ending? Don't think they like it. I know what a good story is like, right? Thanks, I appreciate that, my friend.
Have you thought about setting that to music?
I'm rubbish. I tried. My mum plays the flute, but I broke it.
Oh, well, I played dulcimer. Maybe we could try it sometime.
Hey, yeah, we should do that. I like that. I like this one. I like them all. You have the best friends. You find the best friends out here. Your turn. Your turn. He points at Bastion.
Oh,
I can tell one.
All right,
You
your
were just
turn
making
then.
a
Go
voice.
for it.
yeah, no, please, go ahead.
My mom used to tell me this one. A wagoner, a merchant, was driving a heavy load along a very muddy way. And at last he came to a part of the road where the wheels sank halfway into the mire, but the more his horses pulled, the deeper sank his wheels. So the wagoner threw down his whip, knelt in the mud, and prayed to his god of strength. "O god of strength," quoth he. She was better at the voices than me. "O god of strength," quoth he, "I have long given offerings at your temple, and hours daily I spend in prayer. Please help me in this hour of need." And his god of strength appeared to him in all his might and said, "Tut tut. Don't sprawl there. Get up and put your shoulder to the wheel." That's it.
I was expecting a moral. Was that a moral? I'm an idiot.
The gods watch over us. We pray to them. We tithe to them. And some of us, they give more than others. But never will any of them do everything for us. And most of their lessons teach us to find the strength in ourselves.
That sounds like a good moral. I can work with that. You would get along well with Bashir. Frighteningly so. I'm slightly terrified. I know why you want her to see them. And Agna nods and cuddles up to Estrelle a little bit more.
That was inspirational, Phoebe. I think I do have one, actually. You might know this one, Phoebe. Comes from Sarastra's sacred text, of course. The legend of Matthias who loved the moon. My mother told me this one too, actually. It's not the only story I remember her telling me. And, I don't know what she wanted me to take from it, but I still remember it, so I took something. So, I guess, it's easier if I play a bit. That always helps. So, where I come from, the Shadow Realm, many, many millennia ago, there was no oceans, no seas. All of the world existed atop a high plateau, and at its edges were cliffs that went down into mist. Hundreds of thousands of feet down, a fall no person could survive, a cliff so steep no one could scale it. It was the end of the world. And at the center of that plateau lived Matthias. He lived deep in the woods, but his home was in one clearing beneath those trees, where he could see the moon, bright and beautiful above him. And every night he would go out and sing songs to it. It lit his home. The moon in the Shadow Realm is, well, it's not like anywhere else. It's made by Sarastra's own hand, and it's bright and beautiful and takes up half the sky. And Matthias loved it. It provided him light. It was an inspiration for his song, for art. And he wanted so desperately to give something back to the moon. To let the moon know that he loved it. So he tried. He felled more trees around his clearing, and he used wood to carve sculptures in its honor. Great beautiful things. And he felled more trees and built his house higher so that he could be closer to it, but see it in more of its beauty. But that didn't quite do it either. And he sang songs, he made paintings, dedicated his life to it. And finally, finding that nothing satisfied him, he set off. He left his wood, he left the forest that he lived in, and he journeyed throughout the continent. He met other artists and even astronomers along the way. He used what were then the earliest telescopes to get a better view, to really understand the thing he loved so much. But he was never satisfied. So he kept walking. At the end of the plains were mountains. He hiked until his legs were so tired he couldn't stand, and his hands were raw and bloodied from gripping rocks, to get as high as he could, to be closer to it. From the summit of a mountain, he looked up, and there it still was, high above him, beautiful, unreachable, and unable to communicate, he or the moon. So he came down from the mountain, and he kept walking. And he walked through plain and field and forest and mountain and hill and dell, until he reached those cliffs at the end of the world. He had nowhere left to go. He was an old man now, and he'd spent his entire life wandering, trying to let the moon know how he felt. And he could feel that his days were nearly at an end. So he called on Sarastra. "Help, goddess," he said. "Give me strength. Give me a voice so loud that the moon can hear me, that it will know that I love it." Sarastra, I'm sure you know nothing of our goddess, Phoebe and I, but she has a sense of humor about her, a certain wit. She did not give him a voice to yell, but she took him down off the cliffs. Brought him to the bottom, thousands of feet down. She laid her hands upon him, and as he died, his body faded away, melted, almost, into water. And the waters began to rise, and rise, and rise, until they reached the top of the cliffs. You see, Matthias finally got what he wanted. He became the sea, that he could reflect the moon's beauty back to it. That the moon could finally see the fullness of what he saw in it. Matthias, well, died a happy man. That's I'm rubbish at ending stories, but that's the end. But, thank you. Yeah, thanks.
You notice that Estrella and Nagna have their hands intertwined and are very relaxed. And Sarai's looking at you with his mouth wide open and then wipes away a little. Yeah, you are really good. That's really sweet. It's really nice. I like that.
Thanks. Thank you. I haven't told it in a long time, but it's always on my mind. I'm just going to play now, if that's all right.
Yeah. You play for a little while, and some of the others tell stories that are fairy tales. You hear of a story of the winter winds and how they helped a child find their way home. But the winter winds wanted something in return. And the winter winds offered. It always depends on who's telling the story. Offered the child to be their voice. Offered them magic. Offered them never being cold again. You hear the story of the two moons, the dreamer moon and the dancer moon. How one of them is larger in summer and one of them is larger in winter. And Estrelle tells the story. She talks about something called Lapsa. They say that the Lapsa claim these moons to be the eyes of the Snow Mother, but that humans have created a story of star-crossed lovers, the dreamer and the dancer, always surrounding each other. One dreams about the dancer tries to beguile the dreamer with its moves, and they are in an eternal wooing. But you can tell Estrelle is not too happy about that interpretation. There is a veneration for the Snow Mother in her voice that you notice in particular, Phoebe. And as the storytelling comes to an end, there is one last look around the campfire, one last call, if anyone would like to follow.
I I have an old story. Not so much a story, just something I was told often as a child. It's not beautiful like Bastion's story, but in face of armies, great or small, when hunters come, well-armed and tall, when torches burn and cattle call, remember, foes fall fast, but for some, forever is no time at all. It was something my mother would tell me.
She sounds a little intense.
She was devout.
Oh. Which
I
god
like it.
was she venerating?
No god. It was simply a reminder of the importance of patience.
I've told you this before, but I've long suspected that your mother and my mother would get along very well.
Perhaps.
Let's hope that day doesn't come to find out, though.
This could trend anything like your mother.
This again. And
Just thought I'd asking, curious. It was just a question of curiosity.
I'll say this. Based on our most recent meeting, not as much as I thought. But she did a number on both of us, Katrina included.
My mother was in charge of my tutelage.
I see. You never mention your father.
He was often away. When he was present, he would after a certain amount of time, one's hobbies tend to become more intricate. Some people collect things. He collected power.
Mm. No. My father was always around, but you'd never know. One of those people who'd be strangely absent while being in the same room as you.
I'm very familiar with that.
Mm.
He had a way of having a conversation with you, and to the trained ear, you could understand that not a single word he said mattered.
Talks much with little meaning.
Charm as a hobby. he would see if he could enrapture you for the fun of it.
Hmm.
And then when he did, he would throw you in his web and be done with it. A hobby that was kind to our coffers, for sure.
No doubt, I'm sure. A valuable skill for someone in power.
Well, he was never in power. A fool wants the crown. No, he liked to collect fools who wanted the crown. He had an assortment. He'd play them against each other for fun. It was amusing to watch for a time, before you understood what the pieces on the board represent.
Lives.
By the thousands.
Enzo, you ever think it's a wonder that we turned out as well as we did?
Well, according to a particular vision, I'm not exactly sure that the apple falls far from the tree.
If it's all right with you, I'd rather not joke about that.
Fair.
That was very hard to watch.
It wasn't difficult for me. I expected it. What was surprising was seeing you without sloppy footwork. And again, I understand not joking about it, but it's easier to joke through these things.
I'm well acquainted with needing to laugh so you don't cry, but I'm not entirely sure that you're going to cry, so...
No.
It's not going to happen,
Exactly.
Enzo.
I hope that it does not.
It won't. Now you know. Now we all know. Now we can take steps to make sure that that future never happens.
Mm-hmm.
You don't believe me?
I want to believe you.
I want you to know that I'm very sorry for what I said to you.
You shouldn't be. There's a very real possibility that if you did not say what you said, I may have done something that I would regret for the entirety of my days. And well, as my nursery rhyme showed, that could be a very long time.
I haven't felt good about it. I don't regret... Well, I certainly don't regret raising my voice to you, I'll say that. But Oathbreaker is too far.
No. It was what I needed to hear. Because
It does make me feel slightly better.
in the bottom of the Mother Lake in the Evermaw, I could not hear the storm. I didn't want to hear the storm. I didn't want to know your name. I didn't want to know Pickle, and I did not want to know Phoebe. I wanted to stay in the river. There is a part of me still that wishes to be back in the river.
I suspect there always will be, Enzo. That's never going to go away. And it's not because you're a monster, and it's not because you're evil, and it's not because of your nature. It's nothing wrong with you. It's simply a part of you now. But I think I have my own indelible part of myself that will never go away either. And that's simply this. I'm not going to let you do it. And you might... I'm serious, Enzo. You might... I may raise my voice to you again, and you to me, and you may hit me, you may hate me. And there may be days when I banish the thought, feel like I hate you. But I can't do it. I can't... I can't turn my back on you, ever. And I won't.
I know.
As long as you know.
We all have our monsters to deal with. You're a good man and a good friend. And Pickle and Phoebe, they are good. And I love you all. And it is that love that helps me. It's that love that will have me call for hammer time.
I don't look forward to hammer time. But I will respond accordingly.
Does.
No. Well, Enzo...
There is one thing that I would ask.
Oh, yes, what?
You're not going to like it and you're not going to agree. But I'm going to ask anyway.
Sort of getting used to that feeling, so lay it on me.
Something happened that made you walk away in the vision. And it was the right decision because you were able to come back and deal with the problem that I could become. Do not close that door, is all I'm asking.
I honestly hadn't thought of that till just now.
You did the math in that vision. You and I both saw what I could become. Far more lives are in danger if you choose that walking away is not an option. It must always be an option.
Let's cross that bridge when we get to it, eh?
That sounds fair.
Now, for something slightly less depressing, did you hear Phoebe?
You look around to the other people at the campfire.
Mm-hmm. I was aware that we were doing this.
I figured. I thought you would have said something if.
Nope.
And they are. Estrelle's face, as always, is impenetrable. She watches with interest and a raised eyebrow. Agna is actually smiling in a weird sort of, well, this is the goss kind of way. Look at the story unfolding. She's loving it. Sora is absolutely spellbound, sort of taking this as another story. Nell is looking around like, are we hearing this? Are we hearing this? Did he just say what he said? Are we? And we're still cool with that. All right, cool.
Lorenzo's just gonna kind of look at them and all their surprised faces and go, I did tell you all what I was.
Yes, you did. I didn't realize that being a Tempe also meant being a, well, whatever you would maybe be, warmonger? What is that?
There's a lot to
What's your
unpack.
father's
There's
official
really a lot to
title?
unpack.
Is that hereditary? I
Oh.
don't think so, because...
My father was a puppet master. I would probably be more of a warlord. From what I saw, I would probably consider that an overlord, claiming dominion over land and then raiding for an expansion of my power and empire.
Do you mind if I write that down?
Oh, of course.
And she starts making notes.
There's, Bastion's like 10 fucking shades of red right now because he was not at all aware that everyone was listening to this conversation. There's like so much context that you're missing here. It's not as bad as it sounds, really. I killed him once. No, that's worse. We all
He
killed
slapped
him.
me, and then we saw the future.
Nope, much worse. That's also bad. Yeah, I slapped him and showed him the future. That happened.
Yeah, in the future, I was a overlord. Overlord.
Yes, no, I've got that down. Overlord, not puppet master.
Mhm.
Yes.
A
No, my
future.
And what
But
was that? Lake of Blood, River of Blood.
Lake of
that
Blood
sounds
in
interesting.
the Evermont. It's not so much
Oh, no.
interesting as much as it is. God.
It almost killed me. And Phoebe
because
too.
you drink, of course, because you drink blood, you want to be in that lake. Yes.
Yes, it's it's not. No, it's it's bad. And you
Was that
don't
I got it.
you to... Okay.
want to
It's
be
very
in
bad.
it.
It's when living things go in it, they die. So I fell in it, and I was dying, and then Phoebe here, went in and rescued me.
Not that I'm not alive.
Thank you for that
It's
again,
just
by the
that
way.
I'm kind of not alive, but I'm kind of also alive. It's a thing.
It's a limbo
This is the
situation.
best storytelling we've ever had, I think. And Sarah nodding along.
Really. Don't tell me, did they all hear the part about Hammer Time?
Yes, they heard Hammer Time. Hammer
I'm
Time
a
is
little
bit
bit
one of
confused
these
still about Hammer Time.
delicious. Yes. Oh,
Yeah, Phoebe
if
Pickle,
one
we
of
should
you
explain
smells too
that.
delicious. Yes, and I have a hard
Oh,
time. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So
It's
Phoebe
funny
Pickle,
because
we came up with that. If Enzo's acting a little,
mm,
about
Yeah.
blood and stuff, you say hammer time. That's the code word, and that's how we were supposed to
Makes
tell you.
sense.
Sorry, we got lost in all of this.
no, that's fine. That's fine. I'm fine with that.
This
That's
place is
good to
very
know. Hammer
comfortable.
time.
It feels very easy to be open with you.
Yes, that's the magic. It will do that. We should have warned you. It's very relaxing.
Mm.
Enzo, did you zone of truth us again?
Oh no.
No, that was us. That was me. It's what I can do. I can do a little bit of magic, and well, when you're out in the wilderness, really, when you're out in here, you develop some skills, and your magic is developed in a useful way. No, I'm what they call an ice trap caller.
Oh.
No, okay, of
Nope,
course
not
you
familiar
have.
with that.
It's
No.
I grew up out here with one of the traveling tribes and hunters. Of course, that means you make your warmth where you can find it, and sometimes you take it literally out of thin air. Oh, that reminds me, by the way. Sora interrupts. Uh, Next time you get to Snowhaven, you need to stop by my brother's. The absolute madman needs a lot of supplies and a lot of materials. Thanks for reminding me. He looks at Lorenzo. He's now decided to invent weapons. I've seen some of his ideas. I've seen some of his sketches. Lunacy,
Well,
if you ask me. No
I'm
offense.
I'm currently without a weapon, so if he has anything to spare, I would be grateful.
Oh, you should get a weapon. He looks immediately to this long stick that he's been carrying, and then like, no, can't give you that. Hold on. And looks around, starts rummaging in his bag. There are a couple of hand axes that you can have that he would be using as tools mostly, and he does have a dagger. I can offer you some of these if you want.
I'll take one of the axes, thank you.
And
Nice.
if you do get to Snowhaven, hold on, and rummages through. Yes, this is a bag of holding. That's I can find pretty much all the things I have to make up right now. This should help you, and it's a little map of the city, crudely drawn, but it's a little X with a message from clearly his brother telling him to visit him right there. In fact, I'm going to give you that city in a little bit when I find the map in the PDF. It's in Lead Us Way, and it's called Sanara Symposium of... Can I find something with another S? No. Sanara Symposium of Sweets
Scimitars. Oh.
and
Smithing?
Smithing!
There
Didn't
it
get
is.
to that part today.
Land the plane.
Sweets and smithing. And Sora tells you that his brother has found himself a wife in Snowhaven who's a baker and a sweets maker, and he has developed his own shop with hers right next to it. And they have been living there quite pleasantly ever since. I should write this down. And he has high
There's a VOD.
opinions of his brother. Not necessarily of his ideas when it comes to weapon making. But at least he pays well.
I'll be sure to visit.
Just don't let him sell you one of his weird gun hammers.
Gunhammer.
One of his what?
That sounds
He
ridiculous.
invented a gun. You know a gun?
Yes.
Don't
Yeah.
actually. You really don't. You've never actually seen one.
I don't know what a gun is. I lied.
Nope, never heard of it. You explained this gun thing to me.
Sure. 1 second. And he takes the stick and points it at one of the rocks behind. Oh, can I do this in here, Agna? Are you pointing it at the person? No? Then be my guest. And you hear a whoosh as he presses a button on that stick. It's not loud. It's a pressure that suddenly builds up around you, Lorenzo, as something small whizzes past you and cracks the rock behind where you are sitting.
Which way are you pointing that thing?
I wasn't pointing it at any of you. It's a gun. Steam gun. Pressurized steam in here. Press the button. Bullet goes out. Kills a cock is dead. 120 feet. If you know how to aim.
You're saying a lot of words I don't understand right now.
I don't understand most of what I just saw, but I think that I want one. I changed my mind.
Enzo, but you're going to put that in a hammer? That's ridiculous.
That's what I was saying. Who does that?
I would like to see what this looks like before we pass any judgment on it. I think that being able to shoot something far away or smash it up close would be useful.
In Lorenzo's defense, it does sound really efficient because before it took him 2 axes to do that.
And I would have to throw one and then retrieve it, which is why I currently don't have an axe, because I didn't retrieve it. Do you have to retrieve the thing that it just shot?
Oh, I've got a couple here. And he holds out a handful with tiny, what he called bullets, tiny little stone pebble-like things, round, tiny little stone balls.
This is what
they're
like
murder. It's like for a sling.
Yeah, but very fast sling. Really fast sling.
It's a very fast sling.
I don't see the issue.
Enzo, if you get a gun hammer, then we have to change our code word, or else it'll be confusing.
No, because this would be a gun hammer, and we're not saying gun hammer time. We're saying hammer time.
Promise me that you won't ever say gun hammer time if you get one of these. Look me in the eye.
Bastard, I can't make that promise.
Well, I appreciate your candor then.
Can someone explain to me why we're saying hammer time?
Oh, it's in case I want to bite someone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I am very comfortable here.
Very.
While this conversation is happening, now that we've reached, I think, a point of no return, like mentally, I would like to quickly catch up with a very simple fact that we reached 3 more of our sub goals. Thank you very much, everyone who donated, gifted, and resub. Thank you also for the LFM raid. I know I'm super late with this, but we were deep in the storytelling, and then we were deep in the gun hammering. So thank you so much for everyone still hanging around. Hello. Nice to meet you, and happy to see you here. Our sub goals reached means we get doodles. Doodles by our very own Pickle right here. And the first one is actually already in the Discord. I will post a link to it, and then at the end, I'll let you know when there have been more. Of course, we want to give Draco the time to actually draw these, but they are adorable. And I think the suggestion came up because we absolutely take suggestions for what these drawings are. to either do the awkward faces, embarrassed Bastian or awkward Lorenzo during that conversation, or all the shocked faces of the new companions, or someone crashing through the snow, I think, was also an option. If you have any other suggestions, please do throw them in chat. Likewise, if you're watching on YouTube, please let us know for the future what sort of scenes you would like to see drawn, or check the Discord below to see where they're posted.
Can we see it, Draco, in the camera? Do you already have it?
Do you have it here?
Also,
Also,
the first one.
highlight your messages, please. That would be helpful.
Tall.
So that's the first one.
Oh, and nice.
And the second one, I did also already make y'all's awkward faces.
Yay! That is a good Bastion face.
I love Lorenzo's face in that so much because he just looks like,
I know.
yeah. It's like,
I feel like I look
Yes.
sassy, and I love that.
yes.
I mean,
So for the
Yes.
third
so
one,
I
we have
look
a couple of
sassy,
more
and I love
suggestions.
it.
Draco, if you want to
You're a
check
national
the
treasure,
chat real
Draco.
quick. And we will bring this particular day to an end. People are falling asleep left and right. Estrelle and Agna with their heads on Estrelle on her shoulder and Agna on Estrelle. Sarai is literally curling up on one of the bedrolls and fur places and is looking himself just like a big furry pillow. Pickle, I'm tempted to let you roll a wisdom check to resist cuddling up, but
Yes.
there are several furs and bedrolls as well at your disposal. So as the explorers all go to sleep, having told you that there is no need for a watch, where nobody can enter this place of comfort without Agna's express permission, you are given a little corner among the rocks to go to sleep yourselves. Would you four, is there anyone who would still like to have a conversation before the next day, out of earshot of the others? Go for it, Lorenzo.
Lorenzo's actually gonna kind of poke at Pickle, like, you got a second?
Yes.
Sorry about your spell book. I don't know if you found it or not, but I'm sorry that was lost.
That's okay.
I should have helped keep an eye on it.
That's all right. I understand, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
And I never got a chance to apologize to you specifically about what happened in the Evermaw. I know for a time there it was a little daunting being next to me. So I just wanted to reassure you that we're good.
I'm not gonna lie, it was scary, but I recognize that wasn't you. And the Lorenzo that I'm friends with, which is you now, I trust you. And I know that you might be working through some things, but that's what we're here for. 'Cause yeah, you're my friend.
I am your friend. But that that was me though. I don't have a point to this. You've always been kind, and you've never treated me as anything other than a friend. Um, from the moment I met you. Um, so I wanted to let you know that that was me, but and if you need help finding your spell book, or if you want to take another trip back, I'm more than happy to go with you, or whatever you need. Rumble, he's, I mean, basically he's our horse at this point.
And see, that's why I know that I can trust you, Lorenzo, because Rumble trusts you, and I trust Rumble because he's a really good horse. And I don't think he would still be your friend if he had anything to worry about. So I don't think I have anything to worry about. And
I mean, in particular, I mean, yes. Sorry, go continue.
just the I think the spell book might be gone. Which is something I wanted to go ahead and talk to everybody about. I'm not really sure how I'm going to be able to do any new magic. But I'm gonna try my best to still be able to support my friends. And um, I was actually thinking maybe you could teach me maybe to use some weapons, or I mean, Bastion maybe could help too, and Phoebe, but that would be something we could do maybe on the way to the village.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Um, what is it? What does it feel like when you cast magic?
Um, well, it kind of depends on the spell. Sometimes it feels like a tickle, and sometimes it feels like a burning sensation. Um, and sometimes it's like a feather, and sometimes like a rock. It's really hard to explain. Especially with uh chaos magic. Kind of never really know what to expect, but you know it when you feel it.
For me, it's for me every time I cast, I smell rain, and in my mind I can hear gusts of wind, and it gets so loud that I can't contain it, and once it overwhelms me, that's when the magic comes out. I don't know much about your magic, but I've seen you cast. I don't think you are as lost as you might feel, Pickle. When you shocked that big cat I felt the storm in you, and it's still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. I'll take you through basic drills, and maybe even take you through the principles of my own casting. I don't expect you to be able to do what I do, but maybe it might help you grasp the storm you have inside.
That would be really nice, Lorenzo.
And I'm interested in this gun hammer. Maybe we could see if there's a smaller one. We could learn to use it together.
Yeah. That would be fun.
Okay. Yeah, I've never used one before, so I'll need a training partner.
We can learn that one together.
Yeah. Thanks for talking with me, Pickle. You make it easier to be the kind of person that I want to be.
Well, I'm just glad that you're still my friend. And you don't have to worry, I'll still be your friend.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go rest up. The sooner I sleep, the sooner we get our hands on a gun hammer.
And the sooner you can teach me to fight things.
You'll be the most ferocious person that I've ever met when I'm done with you.
And his pickle squares up a little bit, but then is very quickly overwhelmed by sleep. And the last few hours, days, what was it even, take their toll. She falls asleep, snoring like a lumberjack. And we have someone at the campfire brewing tea.
Yeah, Bastion's pouring some cups of tea. He's pouring 2 mugs. And is just kind of getting, just got the kettle and is just starting to pour some mugs, kind of crouched down by the fire, and picks them up and turns to go find Phoebe. Where is Phoebe right now?
I think she's nearby. I think as everyone's kind of splitting off, she's just kind of gone off by herself and is just like sitting towards the edge of the camp, just like looking around. She's trying to figure out these 2 moons.
I think as Phoebe's looking up at the sky, you feel like a little warmth like on your arm that's like Bastion with the mug just sort of like knocking you on the arm, like, hey, got you something.
Oh. Thanks.
Welcome.
Still kind of
Damn
cold.
good stuff. Yeah, even in here, I'm not used to this. Tea's great though. Very warming.
Yeah, I like it.
I liked your story.
It's weird, right? What?
Vessel thing? Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. Yeah, good story. I liked it.
Thanks. Yeah, it's more of a, I don't know, more of a fable than anything. But I like it. I think it's a good reminder.
It's not a brag, but I got it right away. I know some of the others were a little puzzled at first, but I guess I've just gotten used to your manner of speaking. I, hmm. I tend to say a lot while saying very little, and you tend to say very little while saying quite a bit.
I think that's why it's easy for us to talk to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. So, you mentioned that your mother told you that story? You never mentioned your mother. It just caught my ear.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I should explain. The person I call my mother told me that story.
Oh. The the priestess, yes?
Yeah. I don't know how much you actually went to temple. Amara, tall, elf, old, cranky.
Well, I went to once a week. My parents were very devout in the faith, so we were brought up with it too. And Katrin and I were there at temple every week. But if I'm honest, I didn't pay very close attention. I mean, I you know, read the book and I make my rituals and alms to Sarastra, and I've kept the faith, even as an adult. But as a kid, we didn't really. It was just something your parents made you do, that sort of thing. So I honestly couldn't tell you who the priestess was at the temple when I was a child. But you mean in Zobek, yeah? The priestess in
Yeah.
Zobek? Ah, yeah, I know who you mean.
With the cheekbones.
Quite a woman. Yeah, very, sort of intimidating figure.
Yeah. You get used to it. But yeah, she's my... Oh, I call her my mom. She raised me. I was raised in that temple.
Oh. So, your parents, you don't remember? Or didn't know? Or...
If I did, I don't remember.
That thing in the Shadow Realm said that you lost memory, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to harp on this, but do you think that's related, perhaps?
I don't know. I was young, I guess, when they brought me, left me, found me. I have no idea. At the temple. Amara's the only parent I've ever known. Maybe. I tend not to dwell on it. It takes up a lot of space in my mind that I should be using for other things. And it takes up space in my heart for that people that are here now deserve to have. You know?
Yes, I do. But just, I guess, do you ever wonder? Do you ever want to know? Or not?
Yeah. All the time. There's a lot of things about me that I want to know. So I follow the path lit by the moon. And maybe she'll tell me.
Well, she does things on her own time.
Yeah.
And, I think I used to, when I was younger, I think I used to be a bit angry about that. I would pray to Sarastra every night. You know the way kids do, where you shut your eyes real tight and think hard.
Dear Sarastra, please give me my 2 front teeth back.
Yeah, something like that. No, I would pray to be taken away somewhere else. I didn't want to be in the Shadow Realm anymore. It was bloody boring. And I wanted to go somewhere where I could create and have friends outside of the damn temple and hang out with a girl that wasn't my sister. But, she works on her own timeline. And got it eventually.
Yeah, I'll say this is pretty different.
Yeah. It was worth the wait, though.
Can I ask you something?
Always.
You talk about your family a lot.
Yeah, probably too
Your
much.
sister. No. Your mom. You mentioned her a lot.
Yeah.
You have a contentious relationship, from what I gather. Or, I mean, nobody's parents are perfect. If you could choose between having your parents the way they are, better or worse, especially the worse, or not knowing them, what would you pick?
Well, that is loaded given the context.
You're not gonna hurt my feelings.
Okay. Right.
I don't ask questions for roundabout, nice answers. I just want to know.
Well, growing up, I would rather they not exist. There were times I think I asked for that very thing. My mother's... You say contentious. She's cruel. She is one of those mothers who believes that children can be molded by force if necessary. And I was always a disappointment to her, so she tried to make me something else. A real square peg in a round hole kind of thing, Just keep pushing, keep shoving, and eventually Bastion will fit the shape. Well, I didn't. My father, he was weak, and he never stood up to her, and he let her torment Katrin and I. He just watched it happen. so I never respected him, really. I suppose I love him, but yeah. They were not good. But I suppose when you put it to me that way, I think my relationship with them is not unlike my relationship with the Shadow Realm itself. It's cold, it's unwelcoming sometimes. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. But it's where I'm from. And it made whatever this is. So, suppose I should be grateful. It's all
Do you like
it's all part of me.
whatever this is?
I don't know. Well, can I get a second opinion?
I do. I think that being yourself in a place, in a family, in a world that is always trying to make you something else is probably the greatest accomplishment there is. And you are, if nothing else, always yourself.
To a fault. Well, as you said to me, when I mentioned that bracelet, I do wish you could have seen it. It was so nice. You have very good taste, so if you like me, I can't be half bad. Um, it's good.
You're being really weird today. Do you know that?
Yeah, sorry. I think the cold's getting to my brain. Enzo and I both. I don't know what it. I think.
You're
There's
all
been a
being
lot of-
really weird today.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we've definitely been weird. I hope it didn't offend the Yeti.
He has a name.
Yeah, but I've already forgotten it. So,
Yeah, so-
Sarah. Right? Sarah. Yeah, okay. Very good.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping if I said that, you would say that, and then I would remember.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose we should go to bed.
Yeah. Many long days ahead. Probably.
Cold days, too.
Probably tiger-filled.
Oh, Sir Astor, let's hope not. But, in a few minutes, huh? How about we, finish this tea and... Well, I'm not used to having 2 moons to stare at night.
Then we can stay twice as long.
2 cups of tea it is.
And you stay a little while and watch the moons. Phoebe, you keep hearing that last little bit of the song that you haven't been able to get out of your head. Feel yourself drift away a little bit. You'll follow soon, the dreamers move. You'll follow soon, the dreamers move. It is warm, it is content, it is familiar. But you're not quite sure if it's warm, content, and familiar because of the magic. Or because of Bastion's being here. Or because something long forgotten is stirring. And you fall asleep eventually. And you wake up eventually. All of you do. Next day, as the magic wears off and the cold comes rushing in, and all of you feel it suddenly. And you hear, "I always hate this part," as Agna stretches herself, and you hear some joints cracking. Best alarm in the universe, but always uncomfortable. There is, of course, a very quick way of waking up in this situation, and a very quick way of packing up camp. You get some breakfast, good berries, and they tell you that they will make, or you will make your way to the settlement the Yeti was speaking of, Sarah was speaking of. But more importantly, Sarah says, "So Lorenzo, would you like me to show you how this works?" And he holds out this stick.
Yes, would you mind terribly if Pickle joins us?
Oh, that's absolutely fine. I can't give it to you, mind you, and if you steal it, I will find and murder you. But we're gonna cross the field just down there. See the ice field? Actually, a lake. It's hard to see at this time of the year, but where those jagged little ice things, that you can see that part? That's where we're gonna have a little bit of fun. See, have you ever heard of the Vigiscabi?
I have not.
They are an annoying little fox. Ah, you'll see. And when the convoy starts moving, you see Nell getting back onto their wolf, and Sora actually communicating for a moment with a very, very tall, large dire wolf as well, but then he decides to stick with you guys trudging through the snow.
I
They give
will
you
summon
snowshoes.
Rumble.
Cool, yeah. Then he might actually go into the wolf, but everyone who doesn't have horses, because not the whole convoy does, you're given snowshoes. You're given the equipment needed to get through this environment. It takes a while for you to get used to it. It feels weird walking with snowshoes. If you ever have, you know. If you haven't, you can imagine what it's like having suddenly a tennis racket on your feet. But you get used to it. And when you reach...
Yeah, I got Pickle on the rear with me.
And when you reach that field with the various... It's not icicles, it's literally shards larger than people. Shards of ice reaching out of a now frozen over lake. When you reach that area, Estrelle and Agna are leading the convoy a little bit around, away from that particular area. And of course, Phoebe and Bastion are invited to come over as well, but Sora goes, I'll catch up with you guys. And then takes Lorenzo and Pickle. Is Arbastian and Phoebe coming along?
Oh, Phoebe wants to see this.
I totally want to see this. Also, just like,
Right.
note, Bastion is so fucking awkward in snowshoes. Has absolutely no idea how to. It's like when you put, if you've ever seen like videos like when you put shoes on like a dog for the first time and they're like, what do I do? Trying, yeah, he is very, very awkward in snowshoes. Definitely never done
Phoebe
this
trying to
before.
help him.
There's
I
no
imagine
way
it
to-
doesn't go well. I can't imagine she's any better at it.
I mean,
But she'll try.
it probably makes it even worse, because, yeah, there's no way to strut in snowshoes. But, so Ra bids you to go low. He's clearly in hunter mode. He's clearly a very, very experienced hunter, and he tells you where to move, how to move. He waits every now and then, checks the wind, and takes you up a little slope, or what's it called? Snow drift, from which you can have a little bit of a vantage point, and you see something glisten. There, that's them. Oh, fucks. You see something sparkle, and again, glisten, like just a little reflection of the sunlight on ice, but that's not ice, Sarah says. It's the
space station.
thieves. The Fajaskabi are the most annoying things out here. You think it's the Kakis, you think it's Grula's minions. These fuckers. Stay away from them. They spit acid. And if they hit anything, your weapons in particular, forget about them. Melts like the summer sun through snow. Gotta hit them
And
from
they smell
far.
disgusting.
You can smell them?
Huh?
You can smell them? That could be helpful.
Yes.
What do they smell like?
Their blood is particularly thick. Not exactly. I mean, mud.
I can't smell it.
Enzo, it's
Well-
definitely not hammer time, right? Like the
It's
opposite
not,
of hammer time.
It's not hammer. We are
Okay.
we are not close to hammer time.
180
So what
degrees
you're
from hammer
saying
time.
is-
Got it.
It's vanilla ice time then.
Boo.
Can't with this fucking group. Yeah, we are very far away from hammer time.
Well, let me know if they come closer, because we don't want them too close.
Okay.
Alright. When you see them glisten, look through here. And he shows you this, he basically lets you hold the stick. And you see at the top, there's a ruby. A little crystal, a little red crystal. And when you look through it, it is a facet, it's fractioned, but you can see much closer. And you actually see the next glisten. It's a little creature with wings. A little fey being, like a pixie almost. You know pixies. But it looks a little bit on the melting side. It doesn't wear any clothes or anything. It seems feral, it seems bestial, but it's still definitely fey with the little cutesy ears and a little cutesy face. It's just, it seems constantly wet and melting. Greenish white hues. You see them?
That looks like it was. Yeah, the fey, the melty fairy, the wet fairy,
The what?
the soggy baby, the flying fey being. That is what.
Yes! That's the one. Soggy yeah.
Yes.
Your penchant for mental images is quite impressive, my friend. Alright. So, those
So I just.
Are
yes.
worth are worth a fortune if you hit the body and not the wings. If you hit the wings, it's fine. This is just practice. I've got a couple of wings in my bag already. They might come at us if they feel like it. Hard to tell. So, if you take aim, you look through the ruby. Don't squint. Don't close your eyes. Just do it intuitively. And then you press button here, and it shows you the button. The stick, now that you hold it in your hands, is actually a piece of hollow metal carved with beautiful etchings. The etchings are golden, and there's a grip made of wood, so you can handle it much easier. So it's not entirely a stick. But you see that button, which is attached to a strange canister of sorts? That's the steam. Pressured steam. Press the button, you let out just enough steam to shoot the bullet. Don't leave your finger on the button or you let out all the steam, right? Just
okay, so tap
half
the
a second.
button.
Tap
Okay,
the button,
just pow.
bullet shoots, things fall down, we either run or we celebrate. Good luck.
Oh, all right. Well, this seems intuitive. Look into the ruby. Pickle, when you look in the ruby, you can see things closer. It's neat. Then you just point at the soggy baby. Don't hit the wings, and tap the button. Seems simple enough. Okay. Don't squint. Both eyes open. And then he taps it.
You roll me a d20.
Okay.
You're not proficient with this.
No, I am not.
And
Well, is it a martial weapon? Because if it is a martial weapon, I am proficient with it.
you have never fucking seen this weapon. You are not proficient with it.
I rolled an 18.
Don't even try to argue that. You do get to add.
It's in the rules. No,
A real live
just
dice
kidding.
roll.
You get to add your dexterity, but not
Neat.
your proficiency bonus.
Proficiency. So 18, 19, 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You manage to actually shoot that creature straight out of the air. You pretty sure you didn't even clip the wing. And you managed to get one that was not surrounded by many of the other glittery sprites. I don't think they noticed yet. That's good. We get a second shot. Pickle?
Here you go. You got this, Pickle.
Okay, yeah, I can try.
You hold it and
she-
immediately drop. It's heavy. Heavier than it looks.
Pickle with a gun is the content y'all come here for. I'm just gonna sit back here for.
Oh yeah.
I can't
This is
believe a
why we're
stupid
here.
joke in a session 0 led to all of this. I'm still absolutely floored. And you two now see the ruby fracturing, but giving you a close-up. Roll me that d20
Yeah.
if you want to shoot.
Okay.
Or let me know how you feel. How Pickle feels about shooting living things out of the air.
I'm gonna trust the Yeti to have not steered me in the wrong direction as far as killing things. That is a 16. And then you said add dex?
No, that was just to hit.
Just
To hit,
straight?
you can add dex.
Okay. Yeah. 16?
And you two managed to clip one. You managed to get one, but it does probably shatter one of the wings. But it still falls down. Now, at this point, you see a couple of glittering things fluttering closer to it. And there's a little bit of a frantic glittering flutter. I think you can get another shot off. Anyone else wanting to try? Phoebe? Phoebe excitedly
Like-
raises her hand.
Oh,
Lifts,
okay.
lifts it up to Phoebe.
Bastion's like,
What?
that better not awaken
Why-
anything in me.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Bastard's feeling some feelings now that are new and unfamiliar.
I just like to try new things.
Oh yeah, go. Yeah, before they realize where the shots are coming from. Alright, Ruby,
Okay.
button, kill him.
Got it.
Don't squint and have both eyes open.
Alright, roll me that
Yeah, she's
d20
gonna
and
try.
dexterity.
With
And if you
not a
want
lot of
to-
lead up.
Oh, just takes the
21.
gun and just shoots. Fuck yeah. You get a headshot on that one. Just takes the gun, looks through,
Wait, what did you roll?
immediately knows how this shit works.
21.
Good lord.
And with the bullet shoots out and hits another one. At this point, the fairies still don't know what's happening. The sprites still don't know what's happening. So they get nervous. They start to scatter. I'm going to say, all of you roll me a stealth roll as Sarah goes, oh, duck. And I want to see if you do it in time.
13 for Pickle.
19 for Lorenzo.
19 for Phoebe.
19, 13.
And that's going to
Oh.
be a 1 for Bastion.
Mm-hmm. This is why I usually love this game, because it's the one in which I roll the least. But here we are. That is a natural 1 for Chaboy, which is stealth bonus.
You
is,
didn't even shoot.
It's a 6.
I know,
I
right?
have a 6 on my stealth check.
Once again,
That's
I take
impressive.
5% responsibility for this.
That's impressively bad. So,
That's me in a nutshell.
as Sarah goes, oh, duck, quickly. Bastian, would you like to narrate your own failure? I don't want to put anything onto you, but I know you like failures, so would you like to tell me how they get...
Hurt me. No, Bastion's just totally, when he says duck, Bastion's totally not fucking paying attention at all.
Mhm.
Because he just saw Phoebe fucking, like, no-scope this thing with a gun for the
360
first
no
time.
scope.
360 no-scope, and is just, like, slack-jawed. Just... And as everyone else ducks, Bastion's big, dumb, lanky ass with his horns is still standing straight up, just, like, looking up at the sky, like, oh, wow. When, I don't know, something bad happens to me?
They notice that you're there, and it's a glittering flutter of aggression that comes towards you. Several of these creatures are now flying up the hill. They are a good round away, and you can see it coming, and you know it's coming. So you're all getting one round in between. You have seen from this particular situation that they are not entirely powerful, but there's a lot of them. So, with Bastian being a little bit on the slow side, let's say Phoebe, her mind sharpened and slightly, you know, that adrenaline when you shoot something. No, why does the European say that? Anyway, that's what you're feeling. So I'm giving you the first go in this round.
Oh gosh. I think you give Phoebe's mind too much credit. Well, she's got a gun.
Yes, she does.
Phoebe's got a gun.
No.
Again. Come on, don't deny me again. Other side. Hey!
Are
Boom!
they?
Healing word
Are
is
they
done.
how? What's my distance to these creatures like?
They're about 150 feet away at this point.
Oh jeez.
The gun can reach them clearly. But I'm not sure if your spells can just yet. You can.
That's what I was double checking. They
Yeah.
cannot. I guess I'm using the gun. Yeah, I think. Here's the thing. I think about it. I don't think Phoebe thinks about it. I think she just pulls the gun up and just fires again. Another one of them.
Yeah, go for it. They are getting closer.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
so
she
gangster
really
in my
thinks about
head.
it.
So gangster.
That's a 16.
Yeah, that hits one of them. Yeah. Roll me 2d6 now. At this point, you don't have the momentum to aim up. At this point, I'm actually using their health points. They don't have many.
Okay.
2d6 plus...
2d6 I rolled.
Plus your dex.
Plus dex, which for me is +2, so 10.
10. One of them falls out of the air. The rest coming closer. I'm saying they're coming in range for like 60 feet spells. If you could have held your action anyway, so I just like the gun idea.
Yeah, I don't think she thinks that far ahead. I think that's what she's got.
Sarah's
so.
like, that was good. That was well done. Alright.
Thanks. Do you want this? Just kind of hands it.
Yeah. What's Pickle doing?
Ooh. So I think Pickle will still be comfortable using cantrips.
Mhm.
At least. So she is going to, you said they're about 60 feet-ish out now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, regardless, she would either hold a starburst as soon as they hit 60 feet, but she'd hit with a starburst. So I need a charisma saving throw. And it's a 5-foot cube, so I don't know how closely they're traveling to each other, but...
Yeah, you can get a good half of them in there. And I also rolled
Okay.
shit. So, no.
Okay. So then that
5
is...
and a 9. So.
That's 5 radiant damage.
Ooh, they're still there. You see a light burst, but they are a little bit disoriented and slowing down and looking around, not quite sure what just happened, but they're still half fluttering. Lorenzo.
Lorenzo is gonna look at Saura and go, can I see that one more time? I'm curious about something.
The gun?
Yes, please.
Like, you want to use it or you just want to see it?
I want to use it.
Oh, yeah, sure. And he just throws it to you.
Oh, thank you. He's gonna aim again. This time his eyes are gonna crackle with lightning, and I'm gonna have him use his channel divinity ability, Storm Strike.
Mm-hmm.
As an action, you can use your channel divinity to infuse a ranged or thrown weapon that you're holding with the wrath of the storm god. Make a ranged weapon attack. In addition to the weapon attack, I create a line of lightning 5 feet wide and 60 feet long that extends from me towards wherever I'm shooting. And each creature in the line has to make a dexterity save or take lightning damage.
Did you just invent a laser
Lightning
gun?
bullets.
Huh?
Oh shit.
Did you just invent a laser gun?
My pew pew goes boom.
It's lightning, so it's more like a
Perfect.
taser.
So, what do I roll against that? A save,
that
I'm
is-
assuming.
That is going to be a DC 15 for all of them in the cluster. And that is a 17 to hit.
All right, 17 does hit, so the bullet does take one out. The others, I say half of them manage to just fly aside and evade the lightning line, but you do get
Okay.
2 or 3.
So the ones that evaded it do take half. And so that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's 16 lightning damage. The ones that evade take 8. The rest take the full 16.
All right, they all drop out of the sky. And literally as they have 6 hit points. And as that lightning strikes down, it is a sunny day. It is a beautiful sunny day on a white, snowy field of nothingness, yet suddenly lightning without any clouds in the sky, hitting you and the gun and the bullet within, being propelled in a beautiful blue, almost glistening blue, lightning blue arc. It shoots down, and Sora is like, "Whoa! What are you doing?" And gets the gun, looks at it. What did you do? That was cool. Are you okay, baby?
I just asked a favor.
We're gonna talk about that.
Nicely.
Bastion resumes being fucking slack-jawed yet again. Just.
And Bastion, there is one Fae who's now still making it up the hill, getting a little bit closer. The 2 Pickle hit are a little behind and very close to death. One Fae is coming up to you, Pixie coming up to you, and is starting to try and get into your face. I'll get you your turn first before... Yeah.
Fuck off. It's fluttering about my face.
Yeah.
Do something absolutely stupid.
Oh, please do.
I'm gonna try to swat at it like a fucking fly swatter, and if I can get a hand on it, I'm gonna cast Glimpse the End on it.
Alright.
Hoping it'll scare it off. There's
Roll.
There's no
It's
roll,
not
it
a
just
roll?
happens. There's no roll, it just happens. It just...
Alright.
You just touch it and it happens. There's no save, there's nothing.
So
And it doesn't have to be a willing creature either.
The creature sees your hand coming towards it, and for a brief second feels itself being squashed, feels its own life draining from it, feels death approaching, swatted like just a fly out of midair. And then suddenly the creature looks around, and you can see its weirdly cute little face being very confused. And it starts snarling at you with tiny razor-sharp needle teeth. And then flies off.
Yeah, you better fly away.
And flies back, and you can hear a little bit of a chatter, and then the other 2 that were coming up that are half broken fly away as well, and the glitter dissipates. And Sora looks at all of you and goes, you have very interesting ways of fighting.
Our methods
We need
are
to
our own,
talk.
yes.
Yeah, honestly,
need
it's a
to
little
talk
bit different
about
every
that.
time, but I do kind of like that about it.
She's right.
Yeah.
Interesting. I just used your gun.
Yeah, but what was
Yeah, but
that?
you shot lightning out of it, though.
Has he done that before?
That did
He asked you.
Oh, no, that... Well, he's also never shot a gun before, so, you know, all of that was pretty new.
No, but he did kind of steal my thunder. I can see
we're
your
gonna
face,
end
Lorenzo.
right
You
here.
do want to laugh right now.
You know, I had a cliffhanger.
I'm not
And I
gonna
think
give it to you.
the cliffhanger for you guys as players is just going to be the fact that I had a cliffhanger, but I'm not going to use it. because we're ending with "You did steal my thunder," and I will drink heavily.
I'm sorry, I didn't do a pun transition earlier, so I've been saving up this energy for the last 3 hours.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Amazing. All right. This is the end of today's episode in the Frozen Wastes, but we are not completely done because we've had a lot of conversation here. We've had a lot of topics come up that are a little bit oof, and that will come up again, and that have come up before, and that we want to talk about. And we always do talk about behind the scenes for an hour or two, and scream and cry. But I know lots and lots of people want to scream and cry with us. So Anita, being the good soul that they are, they've offered us a little spot on the Critical Miscord stream where we are going to go in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Of course, we'll take a little potty break, but this is where we will be for about half an hour to 2 hours, depending on how long we are needing to scream and shout at each other this time. But this is where we're going to talk about the episode, where we're going to talk about a couple of things that led to this episode. So if you are new in chat, if this is new to you but interesting, obviously do catch up on the last season and the first episode of season 2, which is a whole new world. No. This is, of course, something you can find on YouTube, and the other season that was on Cobalt Press, you can find the links to those individual episodes, 9 of them in total, on my Twitter, Half-Arsed Hermit. So feel free to catch up. They're always very talky, always very roleplay heavy. They will make you cry like they have made me cry so many times. But they're fantastic and absolutely deserve all the love and all the being screamed and shouted at, because they make you feel feelings. Ugh. They being, of course, these 4 here, and we're going to start with Phoebe this time, go around to just, quickly tell us where we can normally find you if you are not in Song of the Deep.
Okay, hello. I'm Phoebe, but I'm also Savvy. I am at Savvy Seaworth on the Twitters, which is pretty much where I reside when I'm not live, but joke's on me, I'm live every day. And I love it. I am here on Mondays. I'm also here on Wednesday evenings here on Encounter Roleplay at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, running a game of I Hunt for some lovely, lovely people. It's millennials killing monsters, and you'll love it. I don't feel like I have to argue for that. They're great and you'll love them. When I am not here, I am on twitch.tv/game nights. It is game with 2 G's and nights with a K. We are doing a lot of things right now. Tomorrow we are going to be playing Overarms, which is a really fun rules light tabletop game that is heavily based, especially our version of it, on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So if you like that thing, coming out with us. We also play D&D, we play Good Society, and I also run Monster of the Week over there on Sundays. So that's where I'll be. Come hang out with me.
Is it me?
Draku.
Yay! Hello, everybody. It's me, Draku. You can find me at Draku on Twitter. Y'all probably saw me over in the Twitch chat, Draku3690. I'm a variety streamer, so I do all different kinds of video games. This week is particularly crazy for me. I've got a lot of TTRPG stuff coming up as well. But tomorrow you can find me on my channel playing Baldur's Gate 3, completely randomized. I roll dice to make decisions, and I get input from chat. And even my spell list is completely randomized by dice, and I hate it. I just rolled terribly on this last level up. So that's that. You can also find me, I will be a guest this coming Saturday morning. We're heading over to Critical Misses. I will be a guest over on Morning Ritual, and I'm very excited about that. So y'all can see me Saturday morning on that one. And then we are also premiering Gordian Solutions on Saturday night. very excited for that one as well, for the character I'm throwing together for that. But more details to come later once I have them. And that's pretty much my life coming up.
Oh, there was no
Oh my
pun, so
God.
I wasn't sure it was my turn.
Like-
Hello. Hello, I am Noir. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch as the Noir Enigma. I have my schedule pinned on my Twitter. So you should check that out because it's not loading right now and I can't remember all the things I'm doing. I do know that I'm in a cult game tomorrow on Madame Gandalf's channel, and that I'll also be on LFM Network for Degrees of Madness, which is me and the fine folks from I almost said Avenue Q, from fine folks from Perception Studios. And I do know that on Saturday morning I'll be co-hosting Morning Ritual with Anita with our special guests, but I can't remember who they are. Just kidding. With Jaku, and that's my schedule.
Oh, no pun? No?
That's my sketch. I have nothing. There's nothing
Wow.
in here.
I guess I'm the last bastion for puns around here. So, yo, I'm Colin. Hi. Oh, killed the Dracu. I'm Colin at Colonomicon on Twitter and the other places, Discord, Twitch, etc. I do this, and then on Tuesday, tomorrow, 2 o'clock, and every Tuesday thereafter, from 2 to 5, I GM Achtung Cthulhu on Encounter Roleplay, which is World War II meets the Elder Gods of the Cthulhu mythos. It's spooky. It's awesome. Come watch it tomorrow. And on Friday, I'm doing a talk here on Encounter Roleplay about Black Void. We're going to do, that's 6 o'clock here. I'm going to be doing a first look at the new upcoming Black Void module that's currently on Kickstarter, and all of you should go support it because it's not yet fully funded and they need your monies. It's pretty close to being fully funded, but y'all should definitely go check it out. It's called Black Void Under Nebulous Skies. I'll throw a link to that in the chat in just a hot second. And then also on Friday, after that's done, me and Lydia are going to be hosting our show over on my channel, twitch.tv/Colonomicon, the GM Postmortem, where we sit down with GMs and talk about how to be a better GM. And because we just can't keep their name out of our mouths tonight, our guest will be Anita, actually, this Friday, where we will be discussing the topic. The topic of this week is going to be how to GM new people who are completely new to TTRPGs and introduce new people to TTRPGs. And then on Sunday, this is going to become, I decided it's a thing now, we're going to make it a thing. Every Sunday night, 7 o'clock on my channel, again, twitch.tv/Colonomicon, we're going to be doing some low prep to no prep game that I'm going to throw some groups together. We're going to do a different one every week. This just yesterday we did Quietus with Lydia and Anna, Nymeria941 in chat right now. It was super creepy and awesome. And then this weekend we're going to be doing One Last Job by Grant Howitt, which is a game about recruiting a team of rat tag people to go on one last job. And you know, ironically, appropriately, I'm currently recruiting people for that one last job right now. So I don't know who the cast is yet, but you'll find out soon. I'll put it on Twitter. And that's me. Thanks for a punny night, everyone. It was super fun. And see you all over on Critical Misses.
It has definitely been a punny night, and of course we are going to raid into Critical Misses. For me, it's Half-Assed Hermit on socials. You can find me here, of course, every Monday at 8 p.m. EST, but also tomorrow here with the new Zweihänder game, Flames of Freedom, and that is Boston Besieged, one of the adventures in the book that we are going to play And I'm very much looking forward to that. Lots of wonderful people. Anna is GMing it, who has also been working on the book, and I can't wait. There's, of course, other games you can find me in all over, whether it's Colin or we're still sort of trying to work our way into Savvy's Good Society game somehow. But yeah, you can find me all over. I'll put it on Twitter as well. Do join our Discord for more, of course, more of the good Draco doodles. All doodles will be posted in the Song of the Deep channel there. You can talk as well. You can scream as well. There's song lists and playlists. There's all the good stuff there. You can catch up with all our shows on YouTube. And please do check out our sponsors. Of course, for us, it's the Snowhaven setting that we've been using. The snow sprites are from there. The spell I used for the bard is from there. So it's a really good thing to add to your D&D repertoire in case you ever come into colder settings. And I absolutely recommend having a look at that. Apart from that, thank you very much for everyone who's still with us on YouTube too. I'm sure you've noticed a couple of gun hammers were mentioned, and I see absolutely no way around the fact that we're moving into Snowhaven, into that weapons shop, where the strange inventor has come up with lots and lots of different guns and weapons. And, I don't want to be responsible for what happens. So, tell me what ridiculous weapon you can come up with that I can offer to these people here for them to ruin their own lives with it.
I need a sword. Someone give me a sword.
Someone give Bastian a very cool, very strange sword. So please help me out with that one. Leave comments, leave likes, and I'll see you again soon enough. That fucking gunhammer. Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm moving. Bye, everyone.